great teammate, but I think that's where the whole Lil LeBron storyline began, right? Where they kind of flamed each other on Twitter and such and such and such, even though they were teammates. So yeah.
Classic. Yeah, the drama. It never stops. Alrighty then, let's get into this draft as we currently have Tempo starting things off with an Undying and then moving into the Spectre and now the Shadow Shaman in the second phase. Meanwhile, Voldemort, they've grabbed the Doom and have gone for the Enchantress and are waiting on their third pick, but these aren't particularly normal openings. I guess Doom Enchantress isn't super strange, but Undying Spectre is a very unusual first two pickups here. What do you think?
Yeah, I think the Undying is a reaction to the Doom. So if this is going to be a position 3 Doombringer, then he's already going to have some trouble fighting into the Undying. So Voldemort might want to think about putting the Doom middle to avoid that situation. Then you get the Enchantress pick, of course, is secure your safe lane. We see this quite popular, to be honest, in EU especially, not so much in the other regions. So this Enchantress can also lead up into a Clink's pick here. That is something cheesy that is possible for Voldemort. But at the same time, any other carry would also suffice as long as it's a pretty good matchup against the Spectre, because you already see that here. And as you see on Tempo, they pick the Spectre. They just ban out 3 carries that can deal with the Spectre right away. So Voldemort's options are a little bit limited. And right after the pick, they go for a Shadow Shaman. Now, the Shaman is kind of interesting because it could be either position. It's probably going to be a position 4. I have not seen a position 4 Undying at all. So this position 4 Shaman could be a bit vulnerable, I want to say, in the off lane, because he has very low movement speed. He can get run down because he's going to be fighting closer to the opponent's tower. And now there's a Grimstroke here too for Voldemort. So really good combo with the Doom. And I think this Grim is going to be position 4 and Ench is going to be the position 5. And I think position 5 Ench is so good against Shadow Shaman, like to be able to kill him with some creep or just slow him down.
Yeah, I can see that working out for them pretty nicely, but he did not hesitate on this Underlord pick whatsoever. Seemed like it was very well telegraphed for the side of Tempo, and Voldemort will respond with a Timbersaw. Okay, I mean, this hero's been waning in popularity recently, but still seems pretty good versus that Underlord hero, that big tanky strength hero, and the Undying as well, of course. You know, Timbersaw can do a decent amount of damage to both. One thing to be concerned about for Voldemort here, though, is that they still don't have a Tombstone Killer, which I think has got to be kind of addressed at some point here,
The
right?
carry, right? Yep,
Yeah.
that's going to be the carry here. So the Underlord here is actually the grab. I mean, the grab. That's what you call Uber here in the Philippines. Yeah, that's
right.
what their brand is. Yeah. In Malaysia, it's like a Malaysia company, and it expanded into like all of Southeast Asia. So it's called Grab. Anyway, Uber is gonna Uber on out when somebody gets doomed up. So this Doom actually has to force his ultimate onto the Underlord if he doesn't want to get it wasted. But yeah, the Timbersaw here just to be able to counter the Underlord and the Spectre, to be fair. So this Doom can go mid and they can send a Timbersaw off lane. Now, Undying is quite good against Timber for the early, like, let's say 2 to 3 levels. But after that, Timber becomes obviously OP and you can't deal with him anymore if you're Tempo.
Yeah, that's got to be an issue. I mean, something I'm looking at both teams here is some break. We've still got a Viper lying around, you know. Timbersaw doesn't like being broken. Spectre doesn't like being broken. I feel like Viper might be looming for one of these teams here, but maybe not for Voldemort. It doesn't really fit into their draft particularly well. I don't know. Maybe one of those Silver Edge carrying heroes. Well, do you think Silver Edge is necessary versus Spectre? Do you think it's worthwhile going for it?
It's not. I mean, you already have break on the Doom's Aghanims, right? Which is also quite good. You can buy that later in the game.
True.
I see that being bought against Spectre, and you already got Timber. So I think Voldemort is just going to be playing like a fast-paced game where the break isn't even going to matter if they just keep on killing Tempo's heroes nonstop. Spectre's going to have a really hard time finding somebody to jump at the moment, and they go for anti-mage. Okay, so that hero can kill the Tombstone. He can just blink in. You can even Manta Split, probably not even needed, but yeah, you can just attack the Tome, no problem.
Yeah, I mean, my fear here is Anti-Mage into Shaman and Underlord does raise a couple of question marks for me. You know, these two heroes which have a little lockdown. I mean, sure, Counterspell can stop the Shaman getting off that Hex, getting off that Shackle, but at the same time, it's not going to stop that Underlord root coming down. So blinking forward onto the Tombstone, make yourself vulnerable, could be a bit of a worrying move from the Anti-Mage, unless he's super, you know, ripped in this game.
He has the support of the Timber and the Doom on his lineup, though, right? So you got like these 2 big tanky guys who are going to run in for him. and soak up majority of that damage, and the anti-mage can just join the fight late. If this was like say like a Lina and like another weak hero or that can't frontline for you, then I would say yeah, you're right. The Underlord can deal with anti-mage quite easily. But on Temple side, they only have the Shadow Shaman and the Underlord. That's not a lot of disables.
Still feel confident. Fair enough. I mean, yeah, you can't. Definitely need a little bit more, but they've still got one more pick to go, Tempo. They've got a mid laner to pick out here. What is it going to be? Again, you know, the Viper, the break potential against the Timber and the Anti-Mage looking now even spicier, but again, missing that lockdown department, which you might also want to pick up versus the AM. Questions, decisions, answers need to be supplied here by this final pick from Tempo. It's awkward, isn't it? Because Anti-Mage is a hero you do want to kind of lock down and burst, but all the heroes that do that usually are int heroes with pretty high magic pools, which Anti-Mage can then abuse as well. So they are gonna go for the Invoker, the magic wielder versus the anti-magic man.
I gotta say, man, Voldemort's lineup is looking much better, and that's gonna be a mid Doom and offlane Timber. So they're gonna have a really farm Doombringer, like really farm. The Timbersaw can obviously die in the first 2 or 3 waves because what happens is that dying removes his HP, and then he can get popped by the Sore plus the Spectre Dagger. But then once the Timber comes back into lane and Undying has lost all his resources, he's gonna be fine. This Doom is gonna be great against Invoker mid. I don't think Invoker mid can do anything to him. And then the Enchantress Anti-Mage, they're gonna be burning up so much mana against his Underlord.
Oh yeah,
he's gonna have to only rely on his right clicks. So, whew, things are. I don't know. I like Voldemort's draft. I like it.
Yep, I think it's kind of the Fort Protect 1, but relying on Flensmaster's Anti-Mage is certainly a pretty good idea. Meanwhile, Tempo, it just feels a little bit wet and wild all over the place right now. I mean, maybe this Invoker we're not giving enough credit. The Quaswex Invoker can be pretty annoying if you can control up these these heroes. Other than the Anti-Mage and the Timber, really, I mean, if you get a couple of tornadoes and EMP off onto any of these guys, they're going to feel very sad for themselves. So that could be the splitting factor. I know. I think I'm putting the pressure onto the Shaman and the Underlord this game. As we mentioned before, these are the guys which need to control up this Anti-Mage. If they can lead on the front lines and be able to supply the lockdown and hunt this Anti-Mage down and stop him being a factor in this game, then they won't really have anything to fall back on the side of Voldemort. The Doom by himself cannot carry team fights. He can make the space for other heroes in his team to carry them, but by himself, I'm not sure if it's doable. So I'm gonna say kind of 40-60. I'm going to be kind. I'm going to say 40-60.
Okay.
Definitely in favor of the side of Voldemort, though. I do think they've got their thinking hats on.
I think their laning is just going to be their biggest problem in this game for these guys on Tempo here. If this Undying and the Spectre don't actually get through this lane to like kill the Timber off at least once, maybe even twice, this Spectre is not going to have a lane to go to. He can't fight up. The Spectre can't fight up against the Anti-Mage. You're going to get all your mana burn. Underlord needs a lane. And if Underlord switches with the Spectre, fights into Timbersaw, that's even worse. Because now you're an Underlord against a hero who can actually kill you very easily. So that's quite problematic. And Doom also does percentage-based damage later on in the game with his Infernal Blade. So they have 2 percentage-based damage heroes on the side of Voldemort. I think that's what's going to let them scale very hard this game.
True. Yeah, a lot of percentages to work out this game. I hope you got calculators ready. You got dispersion and then percentage-based damage from the Doom, but then some of that's going to be reflected back. It all gets very confusing. I'm not ready. So both teams kind of setting up here. I mean, there's not going to be any shenanigans happening level 1, not from these teams. They don't really have the heroes to be able to fight much level 1. It's just going to be a straight-up trade. Right now it's getting kind of close here as Nico wraps in from behind. Right now it's going to have to take a different route away.
Did you see the very deep ward they planted there? They want the Timbersaw to be laning up against the Underlord. They want the Underlord to lane up against the AM, and they want the Spectre to lane up against the Timber. They want to make sure at least the Underlord has a decent lane in this game. Or else it's going to be pretty much all lanes being lost on the side of Tempo here. Pretty hard committal, like early wards.
Flens and Yol heading to this top lane, and they will be met by the Underlord and by the Shaman. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, it's going to be Wish versus Nu, but it's actually going to be an Exort Invoker as well. So going for that right-click damage and Sunstrike potential, I suppose. When you've got the Shaman, you've got the Shackle into Sunstrike, which might be quite nice later on.
The only issue I see here is Exort Invoker is quite easy for the AM to find and get that easy mana void on, because it's going to be very slow. It's going to be casting those big mana spells like Meteor and Deafening Blast. Going to lose majority of his mana pool. Quite concerning as well. I mean, at the same time, if Exort Invoker snowballs, he can also solo kill the anti.
True enough, true enough. And Anti-Mage does hate playing into those disarms as well. Once he's disarmed, the hero does not do very much. So if you can get off a cheeky Deafening Blast on him, then the Anti-Mage's teamfight does get a little bit trickier if you can react in time. So, Mitch and DNZ seem like they're sticking to this top lane as Yon Flens is kind of farming into him here. Doesn't look like it's going to be too much trouble for the Anti-Mage. So far, though, he's getting harassed up a little bit. We're just trying to take away Mitch's mana and stop him from from using these Firestorms too liberally in this laning phase. Meanwhile, down at bottom, we got LeBron on the Undying, Spectre being played by Kraliat versus Boogie and Signor Nikwa. They play up into each other. Any predictions for this bottom lane?
Well, they're starting to get to a point where this Timbersaw is going to become unkillable. So in the beginning, how you play this laning stage is you just keep on decaying up the Timbersaw, like just a little bit, not burn all your mana. And then once you're level 2, you want to try and get that kill on him. Or even level 3 with the level 2 Soul Rip. So at level 3, if Undying Spectre don't get a kill, this Timber is just going to absolutely destroy this lane.
Alrighty, got to put some pressure onto Boogie. Pressure the Timbersaw. Not the easiest thing in the world with this reactive armor, but we'll see what they are able to do. It's a battle of stats in the bottom lane, isn't it? I'm taking your strength, you're taking my strength, whirling death into decay. It's very awkward.
Yeah, he has 3 mangoes at least, so he has the capabilities of getting at least 1 kill onto this Timber. But so look at his HP right now; it's at 460. So once they're level 3, get that level 2 Spectral Dagger and level 2 Soul Rip, they can actually just pop him.
Well, we'll keep an eye on that. I don't expect it to happen, but now you mention it, it definitely seems like a possibility. Boogie, hopefully he is aware of this one. He's keeping his wits about him. Meanwhile, in the mid lane...
Meanwhile, Shaman had to TP back to base. He was getting jumped by the Enchantress and the Anti-Mage, so this Underlord is going to be left top by himself for a little bit, and Shaman doesn't even have boots, so they're going to probably get a little bit ahead now in the top lane.
'Tis going to be a slow journey back to lane for Mr. DNZ. A pilgrimage of sorts back to the top lane, but he will get there eventually. There's Mitch staying in XP range for the time being, so not super sad. But yeah, I did want to mention this mid lane. Wish doing very well to start things off and even getting under the tower to put some pressure onto Noob here as he continues to control this one up. I mean, it is so hard to find Doom, especially when he gets his pack leaders aura nice and early. I mean, his right-click damage is just... It's matching the Invokers and then some. I mean, it's destroying him, really.
Yeah, it is. The Invoker can't do anything. Like, if he's not tanking tower shots on the Doom, he's gonna be pretty high HP regardless. But right now he's a little bit low, so he's like, let me check that power rune. It's not here. Invoker is really picking up some steam. Yeah, level 3 Exor now. He's got 77 damage. The Force Spirit is quite annoying too, removing armor. He's gotta get that base boots ASAP on Wish now. Or at least a healing salve, something to bring him back to full HP.
Get himself, yeah, back in fighting shape
here.
Here
Here comes Nikwa.
Yeah, coming in from behind. Inkswell comes down. Noob needs to get himself away. A quick Ice Walker's going to come out, but it just doesn't seem to slow him down in the slightest. And they're just going to chop up Noob. And that is going to be your first blood in the middle lane. Meanwhile, LeBron comes in just to grab himself a bit of XP, but too late to save his poor Noob in the middle lane.
Poor Noob.
Poor Noob.
That's hilarious. And Nico now gonna try and contest for this top bounty rune. I like this word here as well. So if ever the Invoker goes into the jungle to farm, it's gonna get hunted with the smoke. Nice.
Pretty cheeky. Actually,
yeah,
they're going on him right now. Nikwa showing up here as they've actually got the Enchantress creep coming on over as well. LeBron's in trouble, and they're going to be able to take him down right now. Or is he? Yes, the decay is not going to be enough, and LeBron will drop.
Wanna be here.
What micro from Yol, actually? That's insane. Nikwa, he's going to have a Inkswell available soon. Nope, goes for the Stroke of Fate and misses it, and Noob's going to get himself back under the tower.
That's such a big waste of time for Noob there as well, trying to go there.
Oh,
maybe
is
get a
it?
kill.
Sunstrike coming on
not.
down here, Enchantress may be in some trouble. The right click's coming on through. They need a little bit more, and they find it. The right click from these two is enough, but the Hellbear Smasher, Mr. Tomato Man, he's hungry. The South, it gets broken, and the right clicks are there. Oh no, he gets killed off by a creep. Oh, double Doom coming down from Wish, sorry, as he gets on top of him and round the tower. There's no escaping this Invoker. He's just straight up dead. LeBron comes in once again too late as the Hellbear Smasher making a ton of noise. And Wish, they're still going for this one. They don't care about no tower. They're going to be able to take down another hero here in the middle lane, and Wish is absolutely fine with that salve coming on through. They're even going to TP in an extra hero here as D&Z makes his way in towards the middle lane just to try and defend it from this catapult and kill off some creeps as quickly as possible.
That's 5 kills in the mid lane. It all started with the rotation from Nico, and he never left. He's still there.
I say this is some easy observing, Theban. I'm living the dream right now. Just kind of sitting in the middle lane, got my feet up on the table next to me, and here it goes again. Yeah, the Sunstrike kind of off the mark, but it's actually on Taniqua. Never mind, it's completely on the mark. But now maybe Invoker is going to be in some trouble once again. Here the heals come down though. The burst heal from the Fairy Fire and from the Soul Rip coming through as well as Wish is on the run. And Wish that Scorched Earth. There's not much they can do with DNC once again being killed by a creep. Oh man, poor D&D, he's just getting murdered by creeps this game. Oh, y'all getting so low. LeBron, can he finish him up? 4 seconds till that Soul Rip comes through, realizing the threat of the Doom is a bit too great for him to really commit to that kill onto the Enchantress, so he's going to chill himself out a little bit. But wow, both these teams really playing hard towards these middle tier 1 structures. But look at this tower, it's nearly dead this whole time. They've actually kept their catapult alive. And the tower is now in deniable range. A 7-minute tower for Voldemort is exactly what they wanted.
Oh, that is so bad for tempo here. This is what you call negative tempo, because now this Invoker doesn't have the protection of his tier 1. Even if he goes into the jungle, the Doom can just chase him out. They already have a ward up there too. And while all this is happening, I think the biggest winner is actually the Timbersaw, because he's now made it to level 6 without a single death. He's got essentially free farm, and the Spectre has to run out of this lane now into the jungle, because if he stays in the lane against a Timber 6, he is going to get punished hard. And Mitch, though, he's also a big boy this game. Base boots up, Windlace next.
Yeah, in fact, the biggest losers of this laning phase have been this anti-mage and have been this Invoker as well. As we look at their last hits, they're not doing too fresh. We look at their net worth as well, and it does reflect the same story there. The anti-mage really not having much of a look in his lane so far, but this tower should make a difference. I mean, this tower does make a... Oh, Mitch actually going down in the top lane, excuse me, and now LeBron may be in some trouble as well, as he's going to get soul burned up, but no, turning it back around here. Nico in some trouble as he's going to get lassoed up. Meanwhile, Krylat looking for something here. Wish on the right. Oh my goodness, y'all, he just gets taken down by LeBron on the sidelines here with a cheeky little decay and soul rip, and now Krylat coming onto Wish, asking for the high five, but Wish shall be killed off by the Sunstrike from Noob. Tempo strike back hard in the top lane.
Wow. So that was a really nice play by the Doom to go on the Underlord here. But then they just kept on chasing while they didn't have any cooldowns up. They could have just settled for that big Underlord kill. He was actually the most farmed hero on Tempo's team, but Tempest.
The farmedest, yeah.
The farmedest. The most farmed hero. I can't speak right now. My brain is, it's going haywire at the moment, so...
That's all good, that's good. I saw you up late watching that basketball game, man. I know what you're up to.
Yes, look at Doncic forever. Oh, here we go, Spectre.
Yeah, not looking too fresh from my boy Spectre in the top lane right now as he gets cut down by a Doom and a Boogie. Sliding on through, boogieing up to the top lane. You can see come very far forward here, my dude. Did you not just see what happened to your carry player? I don't think it's going to go much better for you. Oh, nice Hex. Catches out Boogie, but the damage did already connect. Wish trying to chase him down as well. LeBron going to come over. Has a heal for his buddy, but I mean, that's not going to make a difference. Doesn't even get it off in time as DNZ just gets himself squashed by Voldemort in top. And they're looking in for their next tower right now. The Spectre is dead. The Shaman is dead. Let's take ourselves to tier 1, boys. Maybe not. To get themselves away comes in. The battle of the carries in the mid lane is Flynn's just gonna harass the Spectre, harry her out of lane.
They're gonna get they got 3 bounties. So the first 5-minute bounty and 10-minute bounty, Voldemort got 7 out of 8. So they're building a pretty nice lead here. And on top of that, they got a Doombringer. So they're getting 200 gold every 70 seconds. Easy peasy. On top of that, they got an anti-mage, and he's the 3rd in net worth, and he's not even under 5. Like, he's okay.
Yeah, the Death on the Spectre and Flynn's just kind of being given a ton of space is really kind of tipped things over. I mean, this is the Anti-Mage's dream right now. There's no tier 1 tower at middle or bottom, which essentially means that this entire area of the map is his to farm. Boogie, oh no, he's in a bit of trouble. The Pitamass is coming down, and they will be able to bring him down. Meanwhile, Undying, not looking super healthy either, but will be okay after all. It is just going to be a case of Tempo getting themselves a pick off at top, now looking to get that tier 1 tower brought down for themselves. Voldemort, is there any effort to defend this one without your Timbersaw?
No, no way. You don't defend this. They have already surrounded your tower. They got the Underlord and Invoker, the 2 strongest heroes on Radiant there. Spectre can also possibly haunt in. You gotta give this up. They dropped the rewards for this too, so you gotta consider that a win on the side of Voldemort. Just take this time to farm up, get this Timbersaw somewhere a bit more safe instead of fighting into the Invoker and the Underlord while he's still only got an Arcane Boots.
And Flem just quietly doing his thing down here, looking for his pretty nice Battle Fury timing, which isn't going to be too far away, to be honest. They can himself very, very quickly farm up here. Meanwhile, DNZ, they're looking for Wish. They do have a ward down here, so not much sneakiness going on. DNZ is just going to take his camp. So as this game quietens down a bit, it does feel to me like Voldemort are dangerously far ahead. You know, this Spectre hero we've seen plenty of times, and she doesn't farm very quickly. She's kind of has to find these fights with her team every time the Horn is up, and that's not what they're doing right now.
Well, the one good thing for Tempo is that they have the Invoker Alacrity that they can throw onto the Spectre, so it's like an additional item that will help her fight. But at the moment, Tempo are having a hard time pushing the lanes out. Because on one side, you got the Timbersaw, just being the super annoying hero that you have to deal with. Then on the other side, you got an Enchantress with the Enchant, like pushing the creep waves out really hard, and Doom as well. And now they're the ones going to be smoking up. Yeah, they got Soulbind Doom.
Oh no, oh no. It's a double damage, double Doom in the middle lane. What are you doing? They're not even dropping the Doom. They don't even need to. They could just kill him with the right clicks and with the Inkswell. Who cares? Who needs the double ultimates? They hold them together with Neequa, and Wish just goes to town.
New bottom though. He's trying to get a solo kill onto this anti-mage.
He needs it. The blink away. It's not enough. He gets him with the flames. The meatball does the work. I mean, one of the top lane, Mitch may be in some trouble. Doesn't have that Reality Rift to get himself away, so it does look like, Dark Rift, it does look like Mitch will be dropping here in top. So, a trade made, but yeah, Voldemort losing their AM, probably not going to be super happy, but with those kills in mid, the kill in top, and now turning into a tier 1 tower, they can definitely look towards the bright side in this one.
Underlord tried its best to defend this. It just wasn't enough. Wish still has his Doom up still. They're going to make a smoke play onto this Doom. Oh, this is going to be a really good play here.
Here we go. In they go. Tornado comes down. In comes a Horn as well. Just everything being thrown onto the Doom here, and they are going to lose him. Meanwhile, Timbersaw trying to get himself away. LeBron giving chase right now. They do have not much to actually slow him down with here. This lack of control coming back to hurt Tempo a little bit and stopping them from getting this kill onto the Timbersaw. So... yeah. Tempo, they get one, but unfortunately, I mean, it feels like this is going to be a repeat thing here, really. Like, neither of they both deny the active rune. Yeah, neither team can really lock each other down hard enough to secure more than 1 or 2 kills in these fights.
That's fine. The Invoker got a kill on the Anti-Mage and now a kill on the Doom. I think he's very happy with that play. The Doom making a really weird mistake of, like, trying to hit that tier 1 tower. He doesn't do a whole lot of tower damage, you know? You gotta just back up. The towers are not that important right now compared to just getting lanes out and just playing for your own farm. Get to your BKB, play together once your anti-mage is big enough. They gotta understand, it is 4 versus 5, right? This AM can't join any team fights at the moment. Like, maybe he comes in for a Mana Void on the Invoker, but other than that, like, you're playing 4v5, you gotta play that way. You just focus on pushing lanes out, don't worry about the towers for me. You already got the tier 1 mid and bottom, that's perfect.
Absolutely, they do have a lot of control of this map, and with an AM on your team, controlling the map is all you need to secure yourselves a pretty scary mid to late game. If this game does end up going to like the late game, whose team do you actually prefer?
I still want to say Voldemort because they got that Grimstroke combo. late game Soulbind Hex plus Doom is pretty crazy strong. Oh, goodbye Enchanters.
Yeah, that's the Shackle Sunstrike combination. They are definitely putting in the legwork and getting their value out of that little combo between the two of them, which is good to see. This makes the Exhort Invoker feel really good. When you have teammates finding opportunities for you like this to make those Sunstrikes work, then that's when Exhort Invoker can really be useful.
Agreed. I just think there's a timing where Voldemort are just like far stronger, and then once it gets to like late game, then it evens out, right? If everybody has 6 slots, but then Spectre's not going to get 6 slots faster than Anti-Mage or Doom is.
No. Oh, unless he absolutely runs over the game. He's actually going for a Lincoln Sphere, so looking for that defensive item.
This. Smoke up. They're going from the back again. You want this Invoker one time.
They've got BKB Doom available. They will spot them out, and Invoker immediately running himself away, and it's actually just going to be the Soulbind dropped onto LeBron here. This is absolutely fine for Tempo. They lose LeBron, and they get their Invoker out. They
That's really
should have got their Invoker out. He's not entirely safe right now as Boogie comes in on top of him. He does not have a Yules, though, available on this Timbersaw just yet. In fact, he's going for the Guardian's Greaves as well, so...
That Invoker just dodged a big bullet.
He did.
It literally grazed his hair.
That was a bullet bill coming his way.
If that Invoker dies, like, that's where things start to get really scary for Temple, because all of a sudden your only hero who can kill people on the map is off the map, and Voldemort can just run over wherever they want, get whatever vision they want up, and just control up that area quite easy.
Yeah.
This Invoker is pretty much all their damage source, I feel like.
I do find it curious how long the Spectre was playing at bottom 4. She has now moved up top at last, but it did seem like a strange place to be when you don't have a tier 1 at mid or bottom. Therefore, the opportunity for the Dire side to come and gank you is pretty high.
Right.
Meanwhile, the AIM's just been spending pretty much the entire game in this area of the map.
It was a pretty good read on the Spectre's end, thinking that, oh, this Timbersaw wants to run at mid or even go for that tier 1 tower top. And that's why she spent all that time bottom, because there's not like many objectives for Voldemort to try and get bottom.
Okay.
So it's like using some reverse psychology here to try and get some farm going. Yeah, bottom and mid is vulnerable because the towers are dead, but you gotta see on the side of Voldemort, they're not very fast heroes who can just hunt you across the map or get like a long range initiation at the moment.
Look at this bait in the mid lane. They know they're going to be making the same play again, or at least they feel like that's going to be the case. So they're dangling the juicy carrot of Spectre in. No one's coming, so they're going to drop the snakes. DD for whom, though? Looks like the AM's going to be the one to take it.
I don't think they're going to be able to defend this. This is a Tome plus Serpent Ward. Yeah, this is one of the scary factors of Tempo's lineup. They got this Tome and Serpent Ward, which you can't deal with both of them at the same time if you hard commit into a team fight. So Voldemort still need to play like this in and out kind of game where they just try to go for a pick, Tempo, commit to the fight, drop the Tome, drop the Serpent Wards, and then you gotta back off and go somewhere else on the map while those things are pretty much stuck in that one area.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Yeah, Tempo, now they're taking this middle 1 tower, they feel the freedom to push into the enemy jungle a bit, take control of that, and I mean, it's a bit too late to put pressure on the AM, that's for sure, but they can definitely start to make some more space for their own heroes to farm. But yeah, it's Voldemort looking to put some pressure now onto the side of Tempo in response.
Uh-oh, Shaman.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Run, run, little Shaman. He's going for the TP, but is there anybody coming over? There's not. All right, see you later. Nice. Great read. As aim slowing down, which weirdly feels like it's in favor of Tempo, and I don't know why, since Voldemort the team with an anti-mage on them. Curious.
They don't want to play into the black area of the map. They want to play under their own vision. They're not entirely sure where the other heroes may be too. And here it is, another smoke play going up towards the Invoker. Oh, the Invoker's just out.
See ya.
Damn, this smoke, not sure about that.
Yeah, I mean, this isn't the first time this has happened. In fact, the last 3 or 4 plays Voldemort have made with this smoke, with the rotations, spending the time to go with 4 or 5 heroes, they've come up with nothing. This is kind of what's meaning this. They're not running away with this game. You know, I kind of feel like they could just play the entire map or I don't know. They've been wasting some time, but this might be something here. But they're actually going onto the Doom here. He's stopped inside. Look at the damage. He just ripped him apart. Meanwhile, Timbersaw coming in the backlands, trying to split up this fight here, but it's looking like it's already over as Boogie is still trying hard to make this one work. Meanwhile, Nico dies on the sidelines as Corelliat brings him down. Now Boogie up to the hide line, brings down DNZ as he goes, but Boogie will most certainly be falling as well, making it a clean 3-man kill for the side of Tempo. What was that?
Oh man, that Doom, he walked up into a trap. There was already 5 heroes there. They also had the Spectre Hunt ready. He didn't even get to pop his BKB, so he just instantly melted. Like, think about the Doom without the BKB, right? He's just like a 2000 HP, 14 armor bot. So he just melted to this Alacrity Invoker and all that right click from 5 heroes coming out.
Yeah,
as soon as the server words came out, though, you just gotta back off, I think. And
I think so.
Your Doom is dead. They tried something, didn't work out. AM, oh,
Jesus.
got a blink ready. Okay.
Yeah, Invoker just drops all his spells onto the AM. The AM's like, all right, well, I've got one of those too. Throws it right back in his face.
He should just back off and farm. Like, you shouldn't waste any more time.
Shaman, he's coming in here. Won't be able to make the grab onto Flynn, so we'll just settle for the kill onto Yol. They were really, really hungry for that anti-mage, but they will just have to settle with the Enchantress instead.
Right. So speaking of the smokes that Voldemort have done this game that kind of failed, I think they were some more decent because they did get some pickoffs, but what they have to do is actually just control up this mid area of the map with 4 of their heroes and just let the AM farm, right? Their idea is they want to keep on making space by just catching all these split pushers from Tempo. The problem is every time they smoke and they leave that area that they're already controlling, it's like you're giving Tempo an opportunity to push that out and create more space for themselves if you don't catch it. And that's what's going on. So instead of settling for 60-70% of the map, they try to get like the catch on the opponent and 60-70% of the map is just giving away too much advantage on the side of Tempo. And now they're actually completely fine at this point. They got really good team fights. The Spectre's farmed, right? He's actually almost keeping up with his anti-mage. And this AM now probably feels like he needs a BKB to be able to even join fights.
AM BKB, never the situation you want to be in, but he is queuing up that Abyssal, but...
Or,
I just
not
figured
quite
out.
yet, right? I was going to say not quite. Like, he doesn't feel like he needs BKB quite yet, but he's getting to the point where he's going to feel like he needs a BKB before he can blink in it.
That's for sure. I've just figured out why Voldemort have been struggling to sniff out the kills. It's because they got no nose. Voldemort doesn't have a nose, does he? There you go.
Good one, no man. I like that one.
Thanks. Saving that for a while. Meanwhile, Shaman, just be a silent start. Voldemort looking to do a bit of poking and prodding in at the middle lane. The spells being thrown. You can see the one-man army standing behind his tower. Won't let it go down for free.
He's chilling. He's got that 8 length 9. He's very underfarmed though for a position 4 hero. Top lane. Oh,
Horn coming in here. They're looking for Boogie. They've taken away his mana, and with the Alacrity out onto the Spectre, she's doing so much damage. Boogie just gets ripped in two. Jesus, I don't expect this from a Spectre, but she has got this this Diffusal Manta build, so it's not really a surprise. And meanwhile, Yol may be in some trouble. They got the vision with the Sunstrike, which allows them to then get off the Spectral Dagger, and Yol routing a trail through the river, and this is going to be the secondary kill for the Spectre. Corelliat's looking for more here. This Spectre maybe getting a bit carried away. There are 3 heroes around you here, but they don't want to take a fight with 2 of their heroes dead on the side of Voldemort, so they will have to chill.
You think anybody wants to engage into a Spectre with Alacrity on him? Oh, wow.
That's scary stuff.
Did you see that Timbersaw? That Timbersaw was farmed. He's very tanky. He just got blown up.
Yeah, I thought it was a Crystal Maiden just in a Timbersaw costume, but no, it was a real thing. Absolutely torn apart.
Reveal that man. Who is it?
I would have got away with it if it wasn't for you meddling kids.
Jeez. I'm worried for Anti-Mage at this point. I'm like really, really worried because if he actually blinks into a team fight and he's not abyssaling up the Invoker and killing him, like this Invoker already has Linkosphere, right? He already understands what's going to happen. The AM is going to try to blink in, Abyssal, go on him, or there's going to be a Doom coming on him. So he bought the perfect item with the Linkens really early. And now this AM has to think of like one of his teammates who can actually pop the Linkens on the Invoker before he can jump in. So it's still quite annoying for the AM to be able to just into the team fight and have a lot of impact.
Yeah, if only you could Quelling Blade to pop Linkens, but alas, 'tis not the case. Need to use probably another heroes, because I mean you can't pop it with Abyssal, you can't pop it with Mana Void. These spells are way too high value to warrant doing that to an Invoker. Yeah, Lynx is amazing pickup from Noob, honestly. And they're
Oh yeah, definitely. And he didn't even go for Midas or anything like that in this game. That's what I like about Mr. Noob here on his Invoker. He realized the tempo of the game, and he decided not to go for it. He bought the drums, he bought the boots of travels. That's how he netted that kill onto the anti-mage. If he went for Midas, I'm not sure they would be in this position anymore. He's created so much space for his allies.
He really has. He really has. He's been the man making the moves, making the plays.
Oh yeah, he's
Great
been the
Invoker
most impressive player in this game at the moment. On the other hand, I do feel like Wish had a lot of opportunities. He had very high net worth, but feels a bit squandered at this point. He's actually fallen behind the Invoker and the Spectre in net worth too.
Yeah, kind of surprising. It's been a long time since we've seen a Doom do this poorly without, you know, he's not like he's been chain killed or anything. He's had a couple of unfortunate deaths. But he's 5, 3, and 6. Feels like he should be much richer than this, but it's just a game where everyone's got a lot of money. How late are we going with this one then? Is this going to be a stalemate, or do you expect Tempo to be able to just start taking team fights soon?
I think the game can blow up at any point, right? If Tempo just win one team fight where the Doom gets used, they're gonna wipe them. They're gonna walk up the high ground. They got Alacrity, and that stuff melts towers real quick, right? So, we're probably like 1 or 2 team fights away from seeing who's gonna pretty much win this game. And they're gonna go for the Aegis here. Big plays coming out from Tempo.
Yep.
This
Tempo
Spectre
playing fast.
with Aegis is, oh dude.
Fear it. Fear it.
Yeah.
Fear Krylat, as he is going to be an absolute beast this game. Already has been a beast this game, but just kind of ramping up beast mode. You know,
You see,
there's a few things which I try to put limits on myself on saying. One of the things is if you're ever casting a game with always want to fly in it, then you're only allowed to say always want to die once. You know, that's a joke you get a single usage of. And I feel like Tempo is very much the same thing. You know, I don't want to say Tempo are playing at a high tempo more than once this cast, just letting everyone know. I think there's like kind of unwritten rules of casting some of these people.
who said high tempo? Is that you?
You know, I feel like it's been looming. It's been looming the entire time. It's been something on the side of my mind. I'm just letting everyone know that we'll save it for a moment when they are actually playing very high tempo. But until that point, yeah, it's a low hanging fruit is what I'm trying to get at.
Meanwhile, the Shaman and the Spectre getting some really good split push going on in the top area of the map. They got this really good vision in the jungle too. That's gonna see any rotations coming out from Voldemort. It's kind of delaying the game. They really want the Spectre to have Butterfly. Enchantress and Anti-Mage are nearby though. DM on the ward, just gonna back off. They don't know how many more people are there. So look at this play here. Shaman's gonna TP back, smoke up, and they got the Haunt ready. This is gonna be an attack coming off from Tempo. Timbersaw.
Doogie in some trouble. They don't even need the horn. They've got so much damage to dump onto this Timbersaw's face. Meanwhile, Nico just going to pop that Inkswell to try and get himself away. Should be able to do exactly that. The rest of Voldemort kind of just sitting around licking their wounds. At least they'll have some vision. Ping's coming out though. Flen's a risky move here to go for this outpost. Definitely going to draw the attention off Tempo, but he is well and truly out.
They should really try to play for this bottom outpost as well on the side of Tempo, or at least get the Spectre to TP bottom, go to the outpost, take that, while Tempo control up the top outpost with the other 4 heroes. That way they have the Haunt ready to come in. There we go, they're going to go for tier 2 instead. Ooh, look at that Underlord, my god, that damage.
He's not messing around, is he? Yeah, Alacrity Underlord. It's no joke.
I love Alacrity, man. This is such an amazing spell. This is why OG love playing with Invoker, right? You got that late game Alacrity on your core, and they're just gonna be stronger than the opponent's core every time.
Yeah, don't mess around. Interesting that Spectre chooses the Enchanted Quiver over the Orb of Corruption. That is a big surprise.
Yeah, it's good burst damage. I mean, Orb of Destruction would give you that slow though, right?
Y'all dead at mid.
All right, goodbye.
See ya. Yeah,
All right,
I guess so.
Look at his score on the AM.
What's he up to? He's like 0-1-0. Typical anti-mage stuff, and now they
Oh.
jumps in trying to make it 1-1-0, but Mitch, he's a tanky boy. They will actually drop out the mana void here. Heal comes down from LeBron, that's not enough, and now the Horn gets popped in response. They're going to try and fight with the man down, and Nikwa's going to be the target, and Nikwa will get killed off, and now the Horn across to Boogie. Uh-oh, Boogie misses a Timber Chain, a pretty critical miss here, but luckily he's got the spider legs to get himself away from the Spec. Spec looks over towards Wish instead, but Wish is gone, but AM, oh no, the big target, he gets shackled up, DNC finds him, and that is going to turn into a kill onto the big boy. Oh no, DNC, how did he even manage that? With the Blink Dagger, catching the AM with his pants down and getting them an absolutely critical kill. This might even result in a high ground push.
Yeah, it was like a smoke or an invis or something. Yeah, they saw the anti-mage just instantly jumped him with the Invoker there. Even without the Spectre, I think he was just going to die straight up to the Shaman and the Invoker alone. But now that the AM is dead,
DNZ God.
and Mr. Doom, what's your plan here? You got Shiva's almost. You got a Grimstroke coming up in 2 seconds, so they're just going to back on off on Tempo's side. Keep on farming. Get your next item. He's got a Basher on the Spectre. He went for the Basher before he went for the Butterfly here. I agree with that. Get that disables out on these heroes.
Would have liked to see an Ags, but there we go.
Okay, so he's going to go for the Abyssal Blade before he goes for the Butterfly altogether. Good. So he can just instantly burst the Grimstroke. The Grim is going for Aghanim. Interesting.
Oh.
Get that Spectre illusion.
I mean, it's okay, I guess. It is if he sends it to attack the Spectre, I'm fairly sure it just kills itself on Dispersion pretty damn quick, so wouldn't recommend. I mean, that is the thing, like the Spectre is going to kill her own illusion pretty quickly, I believe. I guess it's tanky enough to survive a bit, I'm not too sure, but it doesn't seem super value this game. Top lane, they found themselves a little sheep, and that little sheep's name is Timbersaw. As the Sunstrike comes down once again, this shackle Sunstrike every single engagement. No one's allowed to play on the side of Voldemort as they are just being hunted by DNZ and Noob. These two guys are playing some awesome two-man Dotas together.
Damn, Voldemort. You guys are in a lot of trouble right now. And Trash is also dead.
You might be speaking... No, I'm just kidding. You're not speaking too soon. She's absolutely destroyed as Krylo did actually drop the Abyssal Blade onto a Doom Illusion, but yeah, I mean, that small bait doesn't save the Enchantress's life at all. Voldemort once again retreating to their high ground. The AM's going to try and do a bit of split pushing, but he's so scared. He knows that DNZ is just obsessed with him. DNZ, he's the kind of guy who's got pictures all over his room of Flynn's. You know, he's got a little shrine. He's probably got a lock of his hair.
The illusion saw him. The illusion saw him. DNZ's like, oh, damn it, I've been spotted.
I've been rumbled, boys. Jigs up. Look at, I mean, this anti-mage just doesn't want to play like this. He doesn't want to sit in the trees and hide and quiver in fear from a solo position 5 shaman. But what else can he do? There is no other option.
Volker's also TPing bottom here. Okay.
Ghost walk in. They know he's in the trees. I'm surprised they haven't dropped the scan or anything.
Meanwhile, the rest of his team is just AFK in the base because they're also afraid of what's going on. Meanwhile, on the other side on Temple, they're just farming. They don't care.
They don't, do they?
Yeah, it's been about 10, I want to say 10 plus minutes since Doom last used his ultimate.
Yep, that's accurate. Doom has been a passive spell this game.
Right. Oh, they got it. They got the Ags on the Grim. It's go time, baby.
All right, they're going to make a play with it. I'm excited to see what happens here because, you know, I don't think it's going to be great, but I'd love to be wrong.
Oh, it does a lot of damage, 150% outgoing damage. Pretty strong.
Yeah, Spectre might well wreck herself if the illusion doesn't die first. I mean, don't forget it's magic immune as well, so it's not going to be able to be destroyed by any kind of spells.
Yep.
And in they go. Abyssal Blade comes down in the middle lane. They try to blow up the Brood as quickly as possible. And he's going to lose his life. But meanwhile, the back line's going to come around the back here. Skylaxism coming on down here. They can't take down the Grimstroke. He doesn't even get a chance to use that portrait as he gets taken out of the pipe. Meanwhile, DNZ being jumped to the back lines by the BKB Doom as they won't be able to finish him off as he actually gets Glimmer Cape off. Gets up to the high ground. And the Doom's the one in trouble. He's taken out of the equation. And it looks like it's going to be a full 4-man wipe. As once again, the Anti-Mage just bails on them the moment the fight turns south. The moment that Grimstroke's dead, he's like, yeah, well, this has gone wrong. See you later, boys. Good luck with that. I'm going to push bottom.
Yikes. That is so bad for them. The Grimstroke needs to play like at least one screen away, glimmer his way into the team fight, right? The Spectre is not holding a dust. Oh, yes, he was actually holding a dust. What a genius.
Yeah. dude. He
was.
doesn't mess around.
Okay. He knows who to go on, exactly. That was awesome. But then I didn't notice there was already a sentry there, right, where the Grimstroke died.
True.
So I thought
True. It was just a positioning thing.
He didn't use it. He just had it. Okay, makes sense. But yeah, this Grimstroke, without that Soulbind, this Doom doesn't even want to pop his ultimate on anybody.
Nope. Nequit. Just trying to throw out some
Ultimate,
spells
the
on him.
illusion, he dies instantly.
See? I told you. I thought this was what's gonna happen. It doesn't do
You gotta
anything.
combine it though. You gotta combine it with all your skills. You can't just toss it out like
Willy-nilly. Yeah.
yeah, you gotta combine it with all your spells. So it's like a decoy, right? Like everybody else is a decoy, then your illusion's just gonna go ham.
Top. Have they got Kata? They've got Cataclysm. This anti-mage's got to be careful. He knows, though. He knows. Cataclysm's actually going to come down as he's TPing out. Oh, Tornado as well. Jesus, Flens. Felt the wind blow past his buttocks on that one, but we'll be okay. Goodness. That was that was close.
Felt the breeze.
Indeed.
It was nice.
True, true.
Someone's got Butterfly now on this anti-mage. About 1,000 gold off from that. Spectre also almost has a Butterfly. Jeez. This is crazy. Spectre is keeping up with the anti-mage.
Yeah.
I mean, she's 7-1, 10. Anti-mage is 0-2-2. Kind of sad.
Flens.
Hasn't been able to find any opportunities. Oh, okay, so all right.
Mitch going to be the target right now. They will jump up that high ground. They're taking him down pretty quickly, but struggling to get the last little bit of health gone. And actually, they're going to have to change targets here as they look in towards the Undying instead. I mean, on the back lines, the Enchantress does get taken down by Noob. And Anti-Mage, he is actually, he's gone again. He's just waiting to jump into the side of the fight if there's an opportunity, but they don't think there is, as Boogie's going to get dropped. They can turn around with the double Doom. No, they can't, actually. No, they can't. They've already dropped all their spells. Yeah. Apparently, the Grimstroke uses Dark Portrait in this fight. You could have fooled me. It's just
man. They gotta drop the Doom. Like they're not. Oh, that's really disappointing to see. Yeah. They're thinking too much about getting this Soulbind Doom combo off that they're just losing the fights instead, right? If they can at least drop the Doom onto this Underlord and get him killed off, don't let him use the Lotus, don't let him use the pipe, and actually he dies. That's fine, right? At least you got some tempo going your way. But now you just lose your Timber, lose your Doom, the Underlord doesn't die, and you're just down 2 racks at this point.
The Dassive Poom problem. Maybe he hasn't got it bounded, who knows?
He doesn't have his Doom bounded? Is that what you just said?
Maybe his R key fell out before the game, and I don't know. Okay. I'm just kidding. I'm just being silly. Roshan starting to fall, and by starting to fall, I mean it's falling awful quick. This Spectre, don't mess around.
Wow.
It's gonna be an Aegis.
That so fast.
Jesus.
Yeah,
no anti-armor even. I mean, this is not even an anti-armor team. This is just straight up damage.
On the Underlord,
oh, sorry, they got a little bit.
That's a lot of farm on this Underlord. My
All right, I thought you were gonna say that's a lot of anti-armor. I was gonna be like, dude.
No, I was gonna say it's a lot of farm on Underlord. I have not seen that in a long time. Yeah, they gotta farm their tier 4 items though. It looks like Anti-Mage has already picked up a Spell Prism. And he's got caught bottom now.
He's in some trouble. Invoker TPing on an over. He needs to get himself away. But how long is this shackle? Oh my god. The level 20 talent with a +2 second shackle duration. And the guy just has to sit there. I mean, he could have gone and read a book in that time. Meanwhile, Spectre, I mean, she sees her opportunity. The Anti-Mage is dead. Long live Spectre. She's just ramming her face into them right now. Just want to grab a couple more creeps here. There we go. There's an item she can use.
Leveler. Oh boy.
Leveler plus alacrity.
Oh no. You know what's gonna remind me of? Do you remember the days with the wings where they played this Brewmaster and they put alacrity on the Earth Panda?
Oh yeah. Good times.
Right? And they just they split, go into the base, Earth Panda, alacrity, and it just destroys the racks in like 4 shots.
Abyssal Blade out onto the Timbersaw. Timbersaw's here to protect the tower, but the tower isn't protecting him. He's got to chain himself away. Meanwhile, Wish of the Backlines actually gets a Doom out onto the Underlord, but his team are just non-existent. They didn't even wait for their Anti-Mage to pop the Doom, and now the Cataclysm comes on down. That's going to be a ton of damage coming on out here as Heroes just getting whacked around all over the place. No one has any health on the side of Voldemort. The Grimstroke tries desperately to throw down the Dark Portrait. Did he use it? I don't even know, because it didn't do a single damn thing. And now the GGs will be called. I mean, what an absolute Like, I don't know, man. That was a trash, and they didn't do anything on the side of Voldemort. They never even raised a finger in to stop Tempo just running them down every fight. What happened?